flow issues. She can't afford to retire, can she, and see out her days in leisure. Is there still a chance that she could do a tell-all book, Fergie, My Story, and make millions?
I think there's every chance, because her children's books have been stripped from the shelves. They're due to be out.
Another day, another royal storm brewing over the House of York. Just when King Charles believed the chaos had finally settled, a new Fergie bombshell is reportedly about to detonate. And according to palace insiders, this one could hit the monarchy where it hurts most. Sarah Ferguson's next move isn't just another headline. It could shift the royal landscape entirely. Behind the palace walls, they're already bracing for impact. The ongoing saga of Sarah Ferguson and her ex-husband, the disgraced former Prince Andrew, shows no signs of slowing down. What began as discreet whispers has now erupted into a full-scale royal crisis. Recently leaked emails have revealed shocking exchanges between both of them and Jeffrey Epstein. And just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, came the announcement that rattled Windsor to its core.
Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has been dropped from several charities after a leaked email showed her apologising to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, Sarah, the bombshell email was reportedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2011 and shows Sarah Ferguson apologising for linking him to pedophilia.
Sarah's been told it's time to pack her bags. Reports suggest she's already on the hunt for a new home, because one thing is certain: she won't be joining Andrew on the Sandringham estate. After years of sharing the same roof, the royal fairy tale has officially fallen apart. But here's where things take a darker turn. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams has issued a stark warning that Sarah Ferguson's rumored new autobiography could spell serious trouble for the monarchy. Speaking to GB News, he said if she ever went through with it, it could be deeply damaging. Any book written by an insider is risky enough, but the whole purpose of an autobiography is to be believed. And with Sarah, that belief would be a serious challenge. People would only trust what could be proven.
Along with Virginia's allegation of trafficking, Andrew Lowney, who has written the royals' unauthorised biography, claims to have laid bare other potential crimes, almost all driven by Andrew's hunger for cash.
The message couldn't be clearer. If Fergie decides to publish her own version of events, she could unleash chaos all over again. A tell-all memoir has the potential to drag the monarchy right back into turmoil, just as King Charles struggles to steady the crown. Sarah Ferguson has never shied away from telling her story. From her first autobiography to her string of novels, she's always used her words to shape how the world sees her. But this time, everything is different. She's lost her home, her title, and the royal privileges that once defined her life. And now, she's living under an unforgiving public spotlight. If Fergie truly wants to cut ties with the royal family, this might be her chance. Her moment to finally speak freely, without filters, without fear, and without the palace pulling the strings behind the scenes. But there's one lingering question.
What's next for Sarah Ferguson and the girls? After the bombshell announcement that the king had stripped Andrew of his remaining titles and took the unprecedented step of de-princing him, many have asked what will happen to his girls.
Back in 2011, Sarah Ferguson described Jeffrey Epstein as a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend. When that statement resurfaced, her team quickly claimed she'd only said it under pressure. But now, new correspondence has emerged, and it doesn't cast her in a sympathetic light. Even more troubling are reports suggesting that Andrew may have lied about when he truly cut ties with Epstein, a revelation that allegedly pushed King Charles to take decisive action, stripping his brother of every remaining royal title. Today, both Andrew and Sarah stand on the outside of the royal circle, stripped of almost everything that once symbolized their privilege. But as the Yorks attempt to rebuild their lives, another storm seems to be gathering on the horizon.
Is that it then? for Fergie, do you think? Is that the last that we will see of her, in public life at least?
Well, no, I think never say never with Fergie. She's a great survivor. She will quietly do things under the radar. I mean, there are plenty of people, particularly in places like China and the Middle East, who are quite happy to associate with her still.
The pressure isn't just coming from inside the palace. The anti-monarchy campaign group, Republic, has announced it's considering launching a private prosecution against Prince Andrew for alleged misconduct and abuse of power. Their CEO, Graham Smith, didn't mince his words, calling it a devastating indictment that we must resort to private prosecution. Royals should be treated equally under the law. That statement struck a nerve, because for many, Andrew and Sarah have come to symbolize everything the modern monarchy wants to distance itself from: scandal, greed, and entitlement. Inside Buckingham Palace, the mood is reportedly grim. King Charles is under immense pressure to act swiftly, and the message to the Yorks couldn't be clearer: enough is enough. Meanwhile, Sarah has been making quiet but telling changes. She's wiped her social media of the Duchess title, replacing it with words like truth, courage, and reinvention. A subtle signal, perhaps, that a new chapter is coming, one that the palace might not be ready for.
It's been a steady but sustained stream of charities who've removed Sarah Ferguson or publicly distanced themselves from her. There's now 6 in total. The Duchess of York was last publicly seen a week ago going to the funeral of the Duchess of Kent here with her ex-husband Prince Andrew.
Royal aides believe Sarah Ferguson is gearing up for a full-blown reinvention. But the question is, how? Because if a tell-all truly is in the works, the palace could soon be facing its most unpredictable storm yet. So what's next for Fergie? According to those close to her, she's determined to rebuild her life entirely on her own terms. Reports suggest she's exploring new business ventures, lucrative book deals, and a series of media appearances, all designed to mark a complete break from royal life. Some insiders whisper that she's already held discreet talks with major publishers in both the UK and the US. Others claim she's even considering a documentary.
This week or next week, I think. That was her latest money-making scheme, another set of children's books. Obviously, they're not going to come out now, so I think she'll write another autobiography. The problem is she's done many of those. She's done many Oprahs. There's nothing really we don't know about Fergie. You know, she's pretty an open book.
There's growing speculation that Sarah may soon relocate abroad, possibly to Europe or even the Middle East, where she's quietly maintained private connections for years. If that happens, it could mark the true end of her royal chapter, the moment she leaves Britain behind for good. Free at last from the palace's grip, but also from its protection. Whichever path she chooses, one thing is certain: her next move will define her legacy. Will she be remembered as the royal rebel who rebuilt herself from the ashes? Or is the woman who brought even more turmoil to an already fractured monarchy? And then there's Andrew, the man once dubbed the Spare's Spare. Now stripped of his title, his public role, and soon even his home. It's been reported that he's been given weeks, not months, to vacate Royal Lodge.
She describes him as a supreme friend to her, but a spokesperson for the Duchess of York claims she only sent the note because Jeffrey Epstein was threatening to sue her for defamation. At least 6 charities have now cut ties with Sarah Ferguson, including one she has been a patron of.
He knows that once he walks out of Royal Lodge, the last fragment of his royal identity disappears with him. And while Andrew may be hiding behind palace walls, the world hasn't stopped watching or talking. Investigations continue to swirl, with whispers of more leaked emails, fresh legal challenges, and new details about his finances waiting to surface. Those close to him say he's grown increasingly isolated, spending long hours alone, avoiding family gatherings, and clinging to a fading sense of importance. Others describe a man still defiant, convinced he's been wronged, quietly plotting a comeback through private business ventures. But reality paints a far darker picture. The king's patience has run thin.
Andrew is living on borrowed royal time, and the countdown to his full eviction is already ticking. And perhaps the most telling sign of all, even Fergie seems to have finally reached her limit. For years, she defended him through scandal after scandal, proudly calling them the happiest divorced couple in the world. But that loyalty appears to have vanished. Reports now suggest she's cutting all remaining ties, emotionally, financially, and professionally. Friends insist this separation isn't just symbolic, it's strategic. Sarah's tired of being dragged down by Andrew's disgrace, and palace insiders fear that if the right publishing or media deal lands on her table, she won't hesitate to protect herself, even if it means throwing Andrew under the bus to save her own reputation.